Cheers, legends. Sammy from Short and Stout Beer Reviews. Feeling a little cocky today. So, this is a series I've wanted to do for a little while now. They've been sitting in the fridge. It's called the Tasman IPA series by Mountain Culture. It's sort of a hybrid between West Coast and New England IPA. A heap of different brewing techniques, and so there's 4 beers in the series. They all vary in ABV. So yeah, I'm going to do just a little bit of the 4 different ones and compare them. Hopefully they're tasty. And the reason why I've sort of held off doing it is all the Christmas Advent beers, like I've been doing 2 every day. So like that's sort of more than enough beers or reviews that I need. So I thought if I don't do this now, it's not going to happen until like another 2 or 3 weeks. So I didn't want the beers to get real old. So yeah, let's tuck in and cheers to Trilby. Do you like my hat, bro? And it's another good thing about like having a couple of cold beers tonight. It's really hot here, and I've got no air conditioning in my house, so it's really uncomfortable. So I'm probably better off sitting up late tonight having a couple of beers and trying to sleep. But yeah, I don't go back to work till tomorrow afternoon, so I can sleep in as long as I want. Cheers, Trilby. Oh, sorry. The first one is called Ocean Trucking. They've all got this big boat on them. So yeah, Tasman obviously is in between Australia and New Zealand. So yeah, this one's 7.5%. I'll probably just go maybe that much in a glass of each one. So it pours pretty clean and clear. Looks like if anything, it looks like a modern West Coast IPA. It's very lively carbonation, which is pretty cool. About a 1 finger head. Yeah, it looks really clean. Colour, I'd say like a light straw. It even looks like a lager. As far as the body goes, yeah, it looks probably medium, I'd say. Let's go a whiff. There was actually a few of these guys in my backyard earlier. They're noisy little fuckers. So I'm getting some citrus, grapefruit, orange. There's also a touch of pine there too, which is good. It'd be funny as like if someone chimed in all serious wanting to know about this beer, these beers, and then they seen this hat. In all honesty, though, if you know mountain culture, you know that they're like real silly characters, and yeah, like stuff like this is just normal for them. Cheers, KC. I just got your latest message, dude. I'll reply to you when I get a chance. Yeah, you're definitely getting like a piney, woodsy character. But yeah, it looks and it smells more like a West Coast, which obviously I prefer. A little bit like earthy as well. It's got that smell like it's going to be real dry, not much sweetness. Anyway, time for a sippy. Cheers. So yeah, I think as far as the can artwork goes, they've all got that shit, but just different colours around. Ocean Truckin'. Pretty cool name. Oh, it's so good on this warm night. Yeah, I tried to have a bit of a snooze earlier just because I've come off night shift this week. My body clock's all fucked. So normally the weekend after night shift, you sleep at all different hours. And yeah, like I was trying to sleep before, and it was like it would have been high 30s degrees Celsius. Tomorrow's meant to be 40. And when you got no aircon, it's very uncomfortable. Cheers, Lady Dragon. Midnight's dead to me. Good to see you guys. As I said, I just chimed in briefly last night. I think it was before I went to bed. I was just looking out for you. You know it, brother. I've had some in my backyard recently. Yeah, like mountain culture, they're real silly fellas, and they've always got like stupid shit going on. And their emblem every now and then's like a cockatoo. So yeah, they made these hats for a festival. I thought it's pretty funny because I'm doing like a series of their beers, and I had a white shirt on. I'm like, I'm going to wear the cockatoo hat. Cheers, Tanner. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Like, I wonder because I've got like a huge as tree in my backyard, like right down the back. You get a lot of bird life in like my yard, and yeah, sometimes there's cockatoos and there's fucking shitloads of them. I should go out there with this hat and see if they think I'm like their dad. So here I am sipping away on this beer. I'm not even talking about it. I might go a little bit more. I've described the aroma, but I'm drinking it, not describing what I'm getting on the palate. So yeah, it's really dry, like super dry. That's the main thing I'm noticing, like the difference with this beer as opposed to other beers I have from them. You do get that slight sort of, I'm not sure what yeast they use, being a sort of a hybrid between a Westie and a hazy, but something about the flavour, like the aftertaste, it reminds me more of a hazy than a West Coast. So it's really confusing. I mean, you look at it, it's definitely like looks like a Westie, and it's got the bitterness, the dryness, and even like the pine. But it's like, yeah, you get this sort of citrus flavour and this aftertaste that reminds you of a hazy. Yeah, boy. That's funny. But yeah, good amount of pine, like slightly woodsy. As far as citrus goes, it's definitely like grapefruit, orange. The base is sort of hard to describe. It's got that grainy edge to it, sort of like your cereal grain, but it's also like real like white bready as well. It's definitely like unusual. Like it's a different sort of beer, which is good. It's always a welcome change to try something different. So yeah, obviously they're all going to have this same sort of characteristic, but it'll be just different hops in them. Some might be like more tropical than others. Some might have pine, some might not. You might get some stone fruit in them, even like berry. There was one that was mosaic, so let's hope we get some blueberry. It'd be interesting to know the IBUs. Oh, so yeah, in American terms, it's going to be over 100 Fahrenheit tomorrow. And I got to work right in the peak of it. Oh, man. I think just as I'm walking to work will be when it's the hottest part of the day. Great. So yeah, as far as like I like the bitterness on it. I like that it's more dry than sweet, but it's at that level where it's almost too dry. But yeah, I do enjoy the fact that it's different to anything else. So I may as well go on to the second, shall I? They're all got fairly big ABVs too, so I'm going to be quite sozzled by the time I go to bed, which might be a good thing. It might knock me out and I won't be there worrying about the heat. So the next one, ooh, it's a bigger ABV too. So the last one was 7.5. This one's 8.2. So yeah, it's got the ship with the different colour. This one's called Shark Speed Bump. It's hard to read. Shout out to Shark Home Brewing. Yeah, that's the little logo for the Tasman series. So I'd say it's been pretty successful. So to be something I'll brew more of down the track. One thing that's cool with mountain culture is they're always trying different brewing techniques. And what they do is a lot of their sort of core customers they get feedback from. And then once they get the feedback, then they'll try the style again and try and like work on improvements and all that sort of stuff. And they're just always going back and forth with the people that buy their beers. And I think that's pretty cool. So I better finish the rest of this one. What's everyone been doing for their weekend? It's gone way too quick for me. But yeah, after night shift, it always goes too quick because you get home on a Saturday morning. It's like your weekend's already gone. Cheers, Shano. Good to see you, brother. Hope you're well. Do you like my cockatoo hat, brother? I'm doing a series of beers called Tasman, and they're like sort of in between West Coast and hazy. They're very different, very dry, but yeah, it's a welcome change to my palate. Hope you're good, my dude. I was saying how we've had some cockatoos in the backyard, but recently I've got this huge as tree and they're always hanging around. They're real noisy. I should go out there wearing this hat, pretending that I'm like their dad, making silly noises. So this one smells a bit more tropical. Can't believe it's 8%. I'm gonna be fucked. Yeah. Yeah, these guys are always like they're always got their finger on the pulse trying new stuff. Yeah. That could be one for your show that you do. The survival one. Next minute I'm there chewing on a worm. I'm a bit concerned at the moment because it's so hot and dry here all of a sudden, just out of nowhere. we've had a heap of rain and shit weather, and now the heats has come in, boom, like one day, and it's gone from like 20 degrees to 40 degrees. And that's the worst for like snakes. And because I live like near a creek and I've got like two dogs and that, I've always got to be like on the lookout because I've got a really massive like backyard as well. So the one thing that does save me is there's a train track right behind the property. So I feel like it keeps snakes away, just the vibration of the train going through there all the time. If it wasn't for that train track, I'd be screwed. Yeah. I knew to be freezing where you are. I was hanging with another Canadian earlier. We were talking about like just sport in general. And we were saying how, like I was saying, how in Australia, Boxing Day, cricket is really massive and everyone gets right into it. And he was saying that, like, I love my ice hockey, but I wasn't aware of this, that there's like a junior tournament where all the young guns are coming through. They play on Boxing Day or something, and you get to see the best of all the youth. I was like, that's pretty cool. And yeah, then we started reeling off some names of like players that have come through. So anyway, I better sniff this beer and see what we're getting. See, I get like more tropical, like passion fruit, pineapple. I'll have to like look up what hops are in each one. See, yeah, like I wouldn't be surprised. I know one of them had mosaic, and I am getting like a berry sort of note on this, so this is probably the one that has that. It's just it smells so much different to the last beer. The last one was sort of like pine and citrus, whereas this is like real fruity and like a lot more sweet. Yeah, I love when you see like yeah the high draft pick, real gun young players first start NHL, and you see them in like the face off coming up against like some experienced gun. Like it's yeah, it's just cool to see. If I lived in North America, I'd go to hockey games all the time. I reckon it's definitely a sport I love, but you just don't see much of it here. I was just saying to the mate I was hanging out with earlier on a stream that I want to get another like a new Leafs hat. So the one I've got's like real old and dirty. I want like a new fresh one. It'd be cool if I could just get one that's like, yeah, white like this, more of like a snapback style, but it has like the blue leaf on the front, just real simple. But yeah, when it comes to like a lot of American sports stuff in Australia, it's sort of hard to find certain teams and that as well. Anyway, I better drink this bad boy. So yeah, this is beer number two of four. I should probably comment on the appearance, but it's exactly the same as the last one. Yeah, like light straw, medium body, one finger head. The carbonation's very lively in these, I must admit. Yeah, this one's a lot sweeter. Still a real dry finish. But I feel like the bitterness isn't quite as punchy as the last one, and you can tell this one's a little more boozy as well. Of course you would. because I've always been a Leafs fan, and now I'm like good mates with you. I'll now say that Calgary's my second favourite team. Yeah, like Doubtfire, how he puts the beers in the snow. That's all. Yeah, I love when we're on streams and Doubtfire goes out to his yard and he grabs the beers out of the snow. It's so cool. Cheers, buddy. Yeah, got the cockatoo on. Last time I wore this hat, I was real sozzled. Yeah, for sure. Geez, I've had plenty of teams over the years that have been down for so many years, and it's like I'll still stick around. And one thing I used to stupidly do. My Australian football team was shit for like fucking probably 15 years, and it was when I was sort of late teens, early 20s. So I obviously just got my license. Used to love going for drives, going checking out gigs, and yeah, going to footy and stuff. I used to drive 3 hours to go see my team get absolutely punished every week. I just look back at it now. I'm like, what was I thinking? But like, I'm just one of those people. Once I'm passionate about something, it's like the passion stays. I'd never be one of those people that would leave a team because they're shit and support another team. I can't stand those type of people. Yeah, for sure. There's certainly some good Canadians in our community. Yeah. Do you know what it is here tomorrow, buddy? It's over 100 Fahrenheit. I've got to go to work right around the time when it's like going to be the peak of heat. It's going to be very uncomfortable. There's even like businesses that are like not going to be open tomorrow just because the heat's just come out of nowhere. Because like most of the week before and then after this really hot day, they're all like 20 degrees Celsius, 25, 18. Like it's all really low. And then you get this one day where it's like 36, and then the next day's 40 something. It's like, what the fuck? That's the only thing with in Victoria, like the weather's very like spasmodic sort of thing. Like you get massive like changes within days. Whereas like up in the north, it's normally if it's good for a couple of days, it's normally like not that much different for the rest of the week. He's a mass boy. There you go. I didn't know that, buddy. Does that mean you're part French? Cheers, Rob. How'd you pull up after the beers? Yeah. Yeah. We've got this Canadian guy here in Australia, Shane. He's blown up. Like, he's really big now on TikTok and Instagram and all that shit. And what he does, like, he goes to all these events in Australia and travels around. I don't know what his actual role is, but all of a sudden he's like become a celebrity and keeps getting tickets to all this stuff that normal people can't even get hold of. And he like just comments on the differences between Australia and like North America. And yeah, like the one he had today, he goes, "Oh, in Australia they don't have maple syrup; they have golden syrup." He's talking about how shit like maple syrup is outside of Canada. Actually made me think of you. He's yeah, really funny and like yeah, just some of the access to events and that he's had. It's like all of a sudden he's just gone from some regular Joe just doing random videos about Australia, and now he's like hanging out with like the other day he was hanging out with Coldplay after their gig, and it's like what the fuck's going on? This guy's turned into like Australia's biggest celebrity. He was at like the cricket. He's hanging out with like the players and stuff, and he's living the high life. Yeah, it does snow here. In my state, it's more sort of in the like I'm down near the coast, but where Melbourne is, north of Melbourne, there's like high country. So you'll get in the like extreme winter, you'll get a little bit of snow. There are actual ski fields and stuff. So anywhere from sort of there up towards Canberra, there's like mountains that have snow, but it's yeah, it's only for like pretty much about 2 months of the year. And like our ski season can be really good because it's so short and rare. It's really expensive to ski here. A lot of Australians will just piss off to like New Zealand or Japan if they want to yeah get right into skiing or snowboarding. I have actually witnessed snow in the forest not far from where I live, like up in the highest part of the forest. It's funny because my little dog Jack, his first ever day out was at the beach, and then a week later he was at the snow. It's like not many people could say their dogs have experienced snow and beach in within like a few days of each other. Ooh, I don't know who I want to win that. Yeah, you're Man United, aren't you? You're in Simo's City, is that right? And Craig's Man United, Jagman's Man United. No, we do have it here, dude. But like from what I hear from like I've got a Canadian workmate, and he said like the maple syrup here is real shit quality, and quite often his parents send him like a care package, and that's always one of the main things he gets. He actually gave me a bottle of maple syrup. Um, I'll have to pull it out and see what you think. He said it's that sounds dirty. I'll have to pull it out and see what you think. Yeah. Yeah, it's like I think back in Canada he said it's like just one of the basic brands. But yeah, like he said in Australia to get a brand like that, like it's way better than anything we have here. Oh yeah. Frenchie. Yeah. Yeah, and I could just imagine there'd be so many people out there making shit quality stuff and trying to say it's the good shit. There's always some fucker out there ripping people off. Yeah. Can you use it as currency? Can you go into your local? What are your bottle stores called? They've got that name. I can't think of it. It's like letters, government-owned bottle shops or whatever they are. Go into one of them with a barrel of maple syrup, and you're like, I want a case of this. I want a case of that. I had a really good barrel aged stout recently, Shane, that had awesome maple syrup in it. Very, very nice. Actually, I think I've got one in my cellar. I've got a feeling it's maple and pecan. Ooh. By Bottle Logic. Bottle Logic are really good. Like they're awesome for their like impy stouts and barley wines. They're out of California. It's like a big bottle, real expensive fucker. So with that one, I better talk about the beer before I go on to the next one. More sweet and less dry than the first. It had more of like a tropical and berry sort of note, as the last one was more citrusy and piney. They both obviously got the same malty backbone, like as I said, like sort of cereal grain, white bread. Both like medium body. It's all about the difference in the hops with them, obviously. But let's go beer number 3. So this one it's gone down in ABV again. This one's 7.4, and it's called Are We There Yet? They've got like that silver back on them. And look at that writing. It is so fucking hard to read. They've got this big novel on there, and I've got good eyesight, and I can't even read it. Yeah, we've just found out at work next week, because we have all different crews and different departments and stuff, and we change our shift times. I'm on mornings for Christmas week, and they're not gonna once mornings are done, that's it. So I have to go in Christmas Eve with my crew. And we've got to finish up, and then the rest of the crews get the day off. I'm like, that's fucked. How dare they? But it works in my favour, I think, the following week, because we're on nights and New Year's. So I think I get an extra night off, which will be good. But yeah, I don't know what it's like to never work over Christmas. All my life, I've always had to work. I think the longest I've ever got over Christmas was probably like 4 or 5 days, ever since I was probably like 15 or 16. So many of my friends, they'll have like a month off, and I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake. Back to the comments. Looks like I missed quite a few. Oh, that sounds awesome. Yeah, I could just imagine like Canadians going out for breakfast and taking their own maple syrup. That's cool. Yeah, I thought so. I reckon I'd seen you wearing the shirts and stuff. Yeah. Yeah, doesn't it? Oh, caramel sauce. For you Americans that are in the chat, do you say caramel or caramel? Yeah. I'd happily accept both. Actually, what am I doing? I was about to sip that and I haven't talked about it yet. Actually, on appearance, if you remember what the last two looked like, they were very clean and clear. This looks hazy. What the fuck? We have a shock, people. We have a shock. Yeah, that's completely different. That's like I mean, it looks shit in my camera as all hazies do. But in real life, it looks pretty good. It's like a sort of in between like a yellow and orange. But yeah, very cloudy, completely different to those first two. It's almost like the wrong beers in the can. So yeah, one finger head. It doesn't look as lively with carbonation as well. Still similar body, like medium. Hmm. Time for a smell. Oh, yeah, that's interesting. As I said though, with mountain culture, quite often they'll brew these beers and then they wait for feedback from the customers and then they'll try and improve on what feedback they've got. So maybe with those first two beers, people might have said, look, it's more American IPA, West Coast IPA leaning, try and go back the other way. So that might be why there's a bit of a change up. It'll be interesting to see what beer number four's like because they were brewed over like different weeks. I think there was about 2 weeks in between each one. Hmm. Yeah, this one smells and looks like a hazy, whereas the other two were damn. That's not good. I know Harry's been getting really angry lately with craft breweries doing like old English ales and that. He's like, I'm sick of them. They don't do them properly. Yeah, I'll have to show you the beer, dude. It's like, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Bottle Logic, Imperial Stout, Maple and Pecan, and it's a collaboration with Toppling Goliath that do the Pseudo Sue and King Sue and all that shit. They're meant to be really good with their stouts as well. I just can't get over the difference from like beer one and two to this. Yeah, packy. And the thing is in the UK, like the term packy for a shop is referring to like a Pakistani person. So it's slightly racist to use that term. So I remember when Bumpy has said the word packy, I remember Craig and someone else going, "Oh, you can't call them that anymore." I knew exactly what was going on, but yeah, it was like just that difference in like yeah, stuff being called something different somewhere else. In the cricket, we still call them the Packies. No worries, buddy. Thanks for chiming in, dude. Always good to see you. Yeah, you're in that industry where all the popular bloody holidays where people have time off, you'd always be working. Yeah, that time when I sent you the invite, dude, for my hangout, we were just chilling, and Anderson's always like since he went live and I jumped up with him and had a drink with him, and yeah, like I feel like me and him will get on really well also. And he's like, "Oh, we'll have to jump up on a panel with you." And yeah, I thought, "Oh, well, I'll send him and you an invite just to see what yous were doing." You were working, and he was, yeah, out in the road with one of the bands. I'm like, "Fuck it." Yeah, I mean, yeah, it does look in my camera, dude. They always look real milky and washed out, like that. That looks nothing like what it does in reality. It's more of like a light orange, like quite vibrant. This is where it's annoying, where like if I take a photo and sort of send it to you, and you'd be like, "Wow, that's completely different." Yeah, exactly. Cheers, dude. Haven't seen you for ages. Hope you're well. I I had some salted licorice from your nation recently, and I thought of you straight away. I'm like, I wonder if this shit's something that you eat. Yeah, hope you're good, dude. We'll have to catch up for a sesh at some stage. I've been hanging out with Harry a fair bit now that he's broken up with his missus. Yeah. Now that get together you guys have looks so cool. I definitely have to. It has to be done. It'll be on my bucket list. It'll happen one year. Anyway, I better have a whiff of this beer and see what differences I get. It already looks completely different on appearance. You salty motherfucker. You still been having some fine ales, brother? I've seen a couple of your reviews. I chimed into one that you just wrapped it up. I chimed in and I went to type something and you finished. I'm like, ah, that prick. Yeah, I know you. I knew you always work 6 days a week, but seven. Oof. So yeah, it looks and smells like a hazy. It's completely different to beer one and two. I definitely think there's been some sort of feedback from the customers, and then they've went, "Oh, if you're going to make this hybrid sort of thing, it's got to lean more hazy." Damn those hazy people! I want West Coast. So yeah, it's tropical citrus. It doesn't have as much of that sort of grainy like backbone. It's more just white bread. Fucking oath, West is best. I'm so over hazies, man. I mean, I'll still buy them. I'll buy them till the cows come home, just because when you get a good one, they're awesome. But when you go to a bar or a brewery and like it's like 80% of the beers are hazy, I get real frustrated. It's like, just give me a West Coast, give me a lager, give me even like a fucking brown ale, just something different. There's a brewery called Fox Friday, and they're from Tasmania. They've really like climbed the ladder. Like they've gone from this small average brewery to this huge, massive, like, brewery, like, hype in Australia, 3 venues, like, absolutely killing it. And you go in there and they have more West Coasts on their board than the hazies, and it's like, yes, this is my place. Like, up on, you look up on the board and there's like maybe 3 hazies and like 6 Westies, and then there'll be like a West Coast Pilsner, and oh, hello. I'm definitely getting a berry vibe from this one as well. It's even got that, like, that sort of candy, sherbety citrus thing going on. It just I just can't get over how different it is from the first 2. It's got me real intrigued, like, where number 4 is gonna go. That's the beauty of these side by sides. Yeah. Oh, that's gotta be one of the calls of the night, I think. Fucking oath. Schwartz beers is so underrated. Any sort of dark lager when it's like roasty, or not so much roast, a little bit of roast, but toasty. Yeah, like your chocolate, your caramel. Oh man, even better when you get a little touch of smoke. Anyway, I'm drinking this bad boy and seeing where it takes me. Yeah, smoked porter. Fucking stop it. This is what I had. I've got two advent boxes, Thomas. One of them today had a Lichtenheiner. I hope is that how you pronounce it? Lichtenheiner. So yeah, smoky and sour. I was like, yes. It's an awesome style. I think I've had probably maybe half a dozen of them now in my crafted journey. And yeah, I love it. The one I had today was cherry. So yeah, think of like what the way I described it. It was like if you're cooking a cherry pie over over a campfire. I got to drink this beer. So yeah, it's still got that dryness. Definitely sweeter than the first 2, and you can tell it's not as boozy as the second one. But yeah, it's leaning more towards like your standard MC hazy. So yeah, it's very unusual how much it's changed from beer 2 to beer 3. Have I missed some comments? Yes, I have. Oh yeah. Yeah, fucking oath. The markets are saturated with them. It's so unreal when you go to a brewery and you'll see like just a vast array of styles. Just infuriates me when you go to some of these new ones and it's like there's 10 beers on tap and 8 of them are hazy IPAs. It's like, come on. Yeah, that's where I'm lucky, dude. In Australia, West Coasts are actually readily available now. It's like I feel like Australia is doing really well with West Coast. It's probably just like our water profile, our conditions. Like a lot of the breweries are smashing them out, and like I obviously drink beers from all around the world, and yeah, at the moment, I honestly feel like Australia's West Coast are probably us and New Zealand are probably the best at the moment. We've been, I've had heaps of hype shit from California, and I still think a lot of our breweries are doing them better than what they are. Sons! Who actually come up with the term sons? Because obviously I hear the average Joe say it. I hear PA Brew News. I always just thought it was a Joe thing, but I hear Paul say it all the time as well. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Just so samey, and like the worst thing is a lot of these breweries now with limited edition beers. Instead of just doing them like I don't know a new beer every second or third week, they do new beers every week, and it's like oh get the brand new hazy IPA from Mountain Culture. And there's like three beers and two of them are hazy IPAs. And then the following week, it's like the same thing. Mm. That's one thing I do like with Banks Brewing in my state. They just concentrate on their core range and they do limiteds, but they don't do them as often. It's like they only do sort of a couple of new beers a month. I think that's the best way. Well, I mean, in the short term, some of the breweries that smash them out, that's better for them. But I think in the long term, people start to get sick of them because they just all start tasting the same. It'd be so hard as a brewery just trying to sort of work out what's best for your company. And she's a cruel world at the moment. Any sort of small business. Yeah. I still have dreams of there was an imperial stout I had years ago, and it was by Bacchus Brewing up in Queensland, and it was based on like the Small, and it had some peated it had some peated malts and like obviously a lot of dark malts. So it was really fucking roasty. It had a little bit of smoke to it, but then it had some chili as well, and it had vanilla, marshmallow, and I think graham cracker or something like that. Fuck me, it was phenomenal. And I think it was bourbon barrel aged also. It was just like the perfect beer. I just love the fact that it had the little dash of chili, like so you got that sort of like that peated smoke, but then you got like this touch of chili as well, just like a little habanero or something like that. It just blew my senses away. 6.5% bourbon barrel aged smoke porter. That sounds like yeah. That's awesome that it's only 6.5%. I think you need to get that India. I got speaking of good people, Adam from Mersey Beers, Thomas. He's coming out to Australia sometime next year. So we're already starting to plan like beers for each other. And one of our best breweries in Victoria here, especially for imperial stouts and sours and that, is Boat Rocker, and they do a lot of work with Starwood. So yeah, I've already teed up. There's a beer called Fat Santa, and it's an awesome as barrel aged imperial stout with coconut and vanilla and something else. Maybe Coke. Oh, tonka bean. Yeah, it's got tonka bean, vanilla, and cocoa nibs. I think it's fucking sensational. And yeah, anyway, barrel aged with Starwood whiskey. Ooh, he's gonna love that shit. It's a beer that I have every year, but like, yeah, when I seen it this year, I'm like, I'm gonna get two of these, one for me, one for Adam. Cheers, Stuart, and cheers, Bulk as well. I think I seen Bulk comment just up a bit. How are you, boys? The besties from the Westies. Yes. So is it pronounced Lichtenheiner? Is that right? That's how I've always said it. Help me out, my European compadre. Jimmy, how the fuck are you, brother? I was watching Simon Wilson's recent video and he was up your way somewhere. I'm like, thinking of you. I'm like, oh, I miss Jimmy. Poor Simon's up there getting about 1 hour of sunlight. But yeah, he was a fair bit like north of where you are. Hope you're well, dude. Yeah. He just has a lot of confidence in the way he says it. It's like something he's come up with. And yeah, it's like infectious. You can't help but like get behind it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you find like most awesome hazies. It's almost like you need to drink them at like fucking 1 or 2 months. There have been some where I've sort of drank straight away and thought, fuck yeah, but there's some that I'm like, yeah, yeah. I feel like with Trillium, like Trillium were unreal back in the day. And then I reckon they dropped off. But I reckon in the last probably 2 years, or I think they're back to where they were. Like I've had a few beers from them recently. I'm like, wow, that's embarrassing. That's the thing, though. Geordie doesn't work, so he's never going to go out and buy like really good beers. He's going to be drinking supermarket trash all the time. So I can't really help him then. He's a good boy. I love him, but I want to see him out and about. You can't just be sitting at home getting smashed all the time, living off the government. Yeah, fucking oath. He's already teeing up some real good stuff for me. He's a good boy. It's fun. It's funny how you've just commented that. Like you've obviously commented it before I said anything. Yes, you know it, brother. Yeah, so good. I'm still shattered I missed out on that peated one. I've been trying to find a bottle. I thought there's got to be some bottle shop that's still got one sitting around. I think it had like a green label. Yeah, cool. Good to see you boys. We haven't sort of crossed paths as much of late. Cheers, Matt. Yeah, exactly, dude. I mean, look at the advent calendar, for example. It's like, come on. I think we're up to what? What are we up to on the? Yeah, we're up to about day 8 in the advent calendar for mountain culture. And I think 6 or 7 beers have been hazies. It's like, I feel like if you just keep going down this road, people aren't going to buy it next year. I have already got tomorrow's ready, and I know that it's not a hazy, but it's sort of a beer that's like pretty lackluster. Like the first couple of years, the mountain culture advent blew me away, especially when you got like that hyped stout and the hyped barley wine, and yeah, yeah. At the end of the day, like a lot of hazies, they're like the same base. It's just a change of hops, and half the time it's not even a full change of hops. It's like we've got Mosaic, Centennial, and Citra, and then the following week it'll be like, oh, Citra, Mosaic, and Raquel. It's like the two hops we used last week. Yeah, definitely. I'm a cocky motherfucker. Oh my god, I've caught up to the comments. No, I haven't. Cheers, brother. Love ya. We'll have to organise a sesh, do some sort of hangout and get on the beers. Get a few others like Anderson and that involved. Paul would be good. Good to see you again, mate. Gonna go a little more of this one. It just shocks me how different it is to the first two beers. Yeah, boy. I'm just very intrigued now about what beer four is going to be. I'll pull her up anyway. Let's see what ABV it has. Yeah, see, this one's even lower. So we went 7.5% in the first one, 8.2 in the second, 7.4 in the third, and now 7. And this one's called, God, it's hard to read. Who needs sleep? That's me. I haven't had a decent sleep for about 2 years. Pardon me. So yeah, who needs sleep? Tasman IPA 7%. Ooh. Let's see if it's more like this or American IPA. I better finish the rest of this bad boy. What's a question I can ask the chat just to get some interaction going? Actually, one question I asked the other day, I'll ask it again. If you could have any vinyl to play on just say you're on an island and you've got a record player, right? Not that it would probably work on the island, but anyway. And you can buy one vinyl to play on that record player for the rest of your time, what would you choose? It can be any genre, any era. It's always a tough one trying to pick out like a favourite album. Cheers, Thomas. Cheers, brother. And same goes with you, dude. We'll have to organise some sort of sesh. Yep. Two good calls there. Jeez, Jagged Little Pill. How solid was it? Like every song just fucking banging. I like it. That's a good exit comment. Cheers, brother. See, I've got a few. I can't sort of, I've got like, I don't know, a handful. It's hard to separate. Silverchair's Frog Stomp was always massive for me. AC/DC Back in Black. Red Hot Chili Peppers Blood Sugar Sex Magic. Black Sabbath Paranoid. Led Zeppelin probably 4. It's just too hard. There's too many brilliant albums out there. Even Fleetwood Mac Rumours. Oh, yeah, there's plenty of Metallica. Um, yeah, like a heap of Beatles records. You know it. Fucking oath, it's awesome. Yeah, boy. I'm glad I did this video tonight. Video. I'm glad I recorded this VHS tonight. No, I wasn't going to do it, but then because I've got these 4 beers sitting in the fridge and I've got all these Christmas Advent beers, I'm like, I'm never going to get it done. And then, yeah, because it's so hot tonight and I feel like I can't sleep, I think it's worked out for the best. Like drinking some cold beers and, yeah, like relaxed and because otherwise I just would have been sitting around irritated and like, yeah, I feel pretty good now. Pretty chilled. Yep, good call. So there's a lot of people that say Metallica are only good for their first 4 albums, but the Black Album to me is fucking awesome. Beer 4, here we go. And I'm spilling half of it. Yeah. We all know there's going to be a cuvee at the end. It's got to be done. Oh, what the fuck? Why was that third beer hazy and every other one's like that? I'm so confused. It's almost like the fucking wrong beer was in that can. That is weird. I need to like have a look on their website and see if like their beer, other people drinking the beers, if they've poured the same. See, one, beer two, beer four, all like this, looking like an American slash West Coast IPA. Medium body, straw colour, very active carbonation, one finger head. But beer three looked like a hazy, and I'm so confused. Oh, so you knew what was going on. Was it the same for you? Like, was beer three a hazy? I don't know what the fuck's going on. It's like, I'm so confused. I just don't understand like four beers that are meant to be like the same malt base, and what the hell's going on? And like, yeah, the smell, it's back to one and two again. That is weird. A mountain culture fucking with me. What's going on? DJ, DJ, we need to talk. Hashtag confused AF. Yeah, see, just on smell, this one goes back to number one. It's got that citrus and pine again. Yeah. Like, I could understand if this last one was hazy as well, because then you think, oh, they've worked on techniques and they've sort of changed it and then they've persisted with it. But it's like, yeah, this sort of thing for the first two, then it goes completely haze and then it's back to this again. It's like, what the hell's going on? Yeah. I, I am baffled as to what's happening. But yeah, on the nose, definitely getting like citrus and pine. It's got it's probably a little more sweeter than number one, but not as sweet as two. It's definitely going to have that dryness again. I feel like there's like a berry touch as well. Yeah, definitely reminds me of the first one though. Anyway, I'm going in. I'm very confused. Cheers, boys and girls. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just intrigued. Like, I want to know what's going on. Like, just even the carbonation, like, was different in in that third one. And you wouldn't say it's like it's not oxidized because yeah, it was like a nice looking hazy and like still tasted and smelled all right. It's just so fucking different to the others. What's going on? I seen a I seen a live version of the girl from what were they called? Four non blondes or something like that. Yeah, I've seen a live version of the main chick singing that song acoustically, and she was like real nervous, and then it's like she overcame her nerves, and then you're just like, wow, it was cool. Cheers, Vanessa. Good to see you, mate. Just a spontaneous 4 beer review. It's been pretty cool. I've got my cockatoo hat on. I've had a heap of cockatoos in the backyard, so I'm like, I'm going to go out there and pretend I'm their dad. Rule the roost. I'm so confused. Yeah. So yeah, the mountain culture boys, they're good, like good, outgoing, friendly, like funny characters. They're always fucking around, and yeah, the cockatoo's sort of like a obviously a infamous Aussie bird, and yeah, they use it as their logo sometimes. And yeah, they went through a phase where they had these cockatoo hats going. I went to a festival and everyone's wearing them. It was pretty funny. And yeah, I was I had I had a shower and I put a white shirt on and I was like, I'm about to do a mountain culture 4 beer series. Where's my cockatoo hat? Joshy brother, how are you, dude? I just did this spontaneous live. It's been pretty funny. Had plenty of good banter in the chat, and the beers have been good, but I'm real confused. They're all like sort of hybrids of New England and West Coast, and like they're all fairly similar. But I got to beer three, and it looked completely different to the rest of them. And it's like hazy, and I'm like, what the fuck's going on? It was almost like someone on canning days put the wrong beer in the can. Cock a doodle doo. I can't I can't be too noisy. It's 1:17 a.m. Otherwise I would have really belted it out. Yeah, boy. It's been quite fun. Yeah, because I've had these beers sitting in the fridge for a while and wanted to do them as like a four, like side by side. Because of all the Christmas Advent beers, it's like that's enough doing sort of the 2 beers each day. And I'm like, I'm never going to get a chance to do those mountain culture ones. And then, yeah, today it's because it's so fucking hot here and I can't sleep. And yeah, it's like real uncomfortable. I'm like, fuck it. I'm doing those 4 beers. I'm going to enjoy them. They're cold. I might sleep better afterwards. Pardon me. Yes, Midwest. Oh, not good, Stewie. Do you know what's good for that? A dash of port. You just got to get that tawny port down you, brother. Just neck that shit. Is that serious, Josh? Fucking hell. So you're 1.6 degrees Celsius and I'm 40. Shit. you're like, fuck, you've got about 4 layers of clothing on. You're like, this is fucked. I'm so cold. And I can't even sleep. I'm like fucking sweating my ass off. Ah, it's a different world. When I was sitting outside with the dogs before, like just looking at poor old Angus, he was like, fuck this shit. It'd be so hard when you're like a real old dog and you're out in the heat. It's like, fuck. The old hot toddy. What is a hot toddy? Or is it toddy or toady? I have heard that term before. You got to fill me in, brother. What is it? Yeah. See, he's even hotter than what I am. 43 degrees Celsius. That's fucked. We may as well be in like the Sahara Desert. The worst thing is tomorrow or today actually, it's 1:20 a.m. When I go to work at like 1 o'clock, it's going to be like the hottest part of the day. So it's going to be like 40 degrees, and I'm going to be walking to work. Yeah. Unreal. Whiskey with hot water and fruit. Hmm. Thing for me, whenever it comes to that sort of shit, I'll go like a green tea with honey, lemon, even like if you've got a little bit of ginger. Yeah, it's fucking good. And then if you really want to knock the socks off it, you got to get like a hot curry in there with a heap of chili, heap of garlic, like onion. I've just always felt like spicy food really like rips through when you're feeling sick. If it's like some sort of like a cold or a stomach bug or something like that. It's like it might hurt you at the time, but yeah, it helps. Um, it's probably about what would it be? It's probably about 3 kilometers. What's that in miles? I don't know. Actually, 3 kilometers in miles would be 2 miles, wouldn't it? Or roughly around that, I think, because a mile's 1.6. Yeah. Yeah, it's about a 3 kilometer walk. Like I don't mind doing it. It's just I don't really want to do it when it's 40 fucking degrees. I just don't want to go to work in general when it's that hot. Yeah, not too bad. The thing I always worry about this time of year is the snakes and spiders. Like, there's so many fucking spiders around. Soon as you get like, yeah, that real hot fucking dry weather after it's been wet, the spiders are everywhere. It's pretty similar with snakes, but as I sort of said earlier in the stream, I've got a huge backyard and two big dogs, so I always worry that it's going to be snakes around. I have seen them out there, but I'm pretty lucky. I've got the train track nearby, so I feel like as far as my backyard goes and a few other houses nearby, I think we don't cop snakes like you'd probably expect us to because the vibration of the train, like just constantly going through, I think the snakes sort of stay away. They're fucking, I'll just always worry one day I'll come home from work and one of the dogs has been bitten. It'll be like the worst thing ever. Don't lie, Rob. You're drinking one of your punk IPA homebrews. That'll be one of the things when I go to the UK. I'll tee up Rob and say I want to try one of your West Coast IPAs. Yeah, yeah, yeah. When you're out in the bush, like days like today, it's like you got to be so careful, especially if you got kids or like dogs. All it takes is one dodgy walk, like one dodgy foot movement, step on a snake, and boom. And the worst thing is a lot of those areas too. They have shit phone reception, so if you're in trouble, it's yeah, sounds good. We'll be doing the fucking Manchester beer scene, that's for sure. You'll have to get a couple of brews in a bottle. We'll pull them out in between other beers. Oh yeah, man. That's one thing. Like I think with most people when they first come to Australia, they just be like, "Fuck, the flies are bad here." I'll never forget, like, because I played cricket for years, and where my home ground was right near a dairy farm, and the flies were fucking insane. I opened the batting and the bowling at one stage, so I'd be running into bowl fucking 100 mile an hour, and there'd be flies everywhere going in. I'd swallow flies just running into bowl, but it was worse when you were batting because you'd be like facing some quick bowler coming in. You're trying to fucking concentrate and you got flies hanging around your face. It's like, oh, for fuck's sake. And you'd look at like your mate, like everyone's obviously wearing white, but you'd look over at your mate and on his back, his shirt would be black because it is covered in flies. Oh, they are annoying as fuck. Even just me walking to work now, like, because it's warming up. As soon as I get near the creek area or, like some of the sort of more parky areas, it's like they're just fucking hanging around. Get out of my face. It was, it was, it was funny today. I was out the front and like I'm not being racist here. This is exactly what this guy said when he walked past. He was out the front walking past as I was out in the front like garden area. And there was flies hanging around his face. And he goes, "Fuck off, you black cunts." I'm just like, yep, I feel your pain. I know what you're referring to. Oh, shit. Soup season. In the words of Craig from Kent Beer Reviews, do they have soup in Florida? I'll never forget when he said that to Drew. Fuck, that was funny. Is that what it's known as? That's cool. I'm good, brother. I only had a few beers like earlier in the day, and yeah, this is a bit of a spontaneous review. It's like 4 beers, obviously. I'm pretty mashed, but I wanted to do this review for the last sort of 3 or 4 weeks, but because I'm doing the Christmas Advent beers every day, it's like I don't know when to do this. Like I'm already doing enough. Like, and then I'm like, fuck it, it's hot as hell here. I can't sleep, so I'm like, I scheduled it for late tonight, and the cold beers are going down well, and I feel like I'll be able to sleep a bit better. Yeah, for sure. Just so bloody annoying. What? There's nothing worse though when you're like, yeah, you'll swallow one like just out of nowhere, just straight in your mouth. Like, oh, for fuck's sake, protein, come at me. Oh, is this like for Sharky's thing where your beer shit? Is that what you're referring to? So yeah, yous were on Sharks and then yous were on Simos, yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, see, Adam, I didn't even know you were on Simos because when I was watching it, you weren't there. I was gonna jump on and then yeah, I just wasn't in any rush because it's so early here. I was hanging outside with the dogs to be honest because it was awesome weather and it was early in the day, so it wasn't real hot then. And then yeah, Josh hit me up and me and him haven't hung out for a while, and I'm like, oh, got to have a beer with Joshy boy. Um, yeah, we chilled for probably an hour and a half. It was good. Yeah. Yeah, it's getting to that stage where you need shit like that, isn't it? Like even the fucking the spray or the cream shit. Like tomorrow, there's no like when I walk to work tomorrow at 1 o'clock, it's gonna be absolute nightmare. It's gonna be hot as fuck. I'm gonna be I'm gonna be fucking getting sunburnt, sweaty, and having flies all over me. It's not the way you wanna start your day at work. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go back through the 4 beers, just have a little bit of each one, and then you know what's coming later. The old cool baby. Been going for an hour and a half. That's pretty solid. Yeah, yeah. What do you want to go to Perth? I thought you were just doing like East Coast. Actually, what I'm going to do first, no, I'm right for now. I need to go to the toilet at some stage. I can hold on for another 9 minutes. So back to number one, ocean trucking. This was 7.5%. Oh, okay. Yep. Yeah. So what you want to do is, yeah, possibly get the international flight to come into Perth and then get a domestic to Sydney or Melbourne. Yeah, that's the only thing with Perth. It's expensive going from fucking one side of the country to the other. But you might save in the international, so it balances out. I know Perth's really good when it comes to flying to like Bali and Philippines and that sort of stuff, just because it's closer. So yeah, What I was gonna do, I looked up the hops for each one. So yeah, number one, which was ocean trucking, 7.5%. Um, Citra, Simcoe, and Rawaka, I think. Yeah. So I think my initial thoughts of this one, I couldn't get over how dry it was. It had that like bready cereal grain base, and I got a lot of pine and citrus. But yeah, just the dryness like shocked me. And yeah, it's still, I mean, still drinking the same now. Yeah, what were the hops again? Yeah, so I'm obviously getting some pine from the Simcoe, possibly the Citra, and then yeah, citrus from probably all three hops. But yeah, very, very dry that beer. Not much sweetness to it at all. Definitely leans more towards a like a it's an American IPA, but not old school, like sort of more modern, but yeah, very different anyway. And then the second one I had is similar with the dryness, but it had more sweetness. The second one, it was a little more boozy. I think with this one, it was more tropical and berry, from what I remember. And yeah, I better catch up on the comments. It's about where I was up to. Yeah, boy. Yeah, I think the Vikes are playing Monday night, dude. You're she's got friends in Sydney you're staying with, is that right? It's gonna be fucking awesome catching up with you. Skeeter, how the fuck are you? Good to see you, mate. Yes, Adam is probably going to be the first one to meet me in the beer community. The only person that's a slight challenge is James from Rampant Lion. But I feel like he's got other shit going on with yeah, like obviously having a child in Japan and going back and forth there. I think Adam's going to be the winner. But yeah, it's cool. We're already like planning beers like for each other and yeah, good call, Matt. Perth Airport's so small and like cruisy compared to Sydney and Melbourne. Apologies for my lazy eye. I've got a sore eye. I reckon I got some chemical in it last week. Yeah, it's fucking one of those things. Got to be really careful when dealing with that shit. Oh, yes. Did you say you need a hoodie, as in because you're cold, or a specific hoodie? I love a hoodie, a good hoodie. One thing I need to do, boys and girls, it's been something that's needed to happen for a very long time, but I need a channel logo and a channel intro video or outro or both. I know exactly what I want for a channel logo. I could draw it myself, but I want to be able to do it more as like a graphic design computer sort of thing. I'm just not, when it comes to that sort of shit, I've got no idea what I'm doing. I know exactly what I want with the logo, but it's like, yeah. Yeah, he's been traveling throughout the Southeast Asian countries fucking heaps. But yeah, he's hit me up a while back about coming to Australia early next year. But he sort of wants to do the West Coast, and I'm not that thrilled about doing the West Coast again because it not only is it the other side of the country from me, but I just yeah, it's like it's going to be a lot. I've only done it recently. It's a lot of extra money that I don't need to spend because I've already done a lot of it, and like I just don't think it's as far as beer goes, I just don't think it's as good as the East Coast. Like I'd be happy to go to Sydney or Brisbane or somewhere if we wanted to. But yeah, I just think the quality of beer in I think as far as cities go, the quality of beer in Melbourne is definitely the best. I think as far as like breweries go, like where you have an adventure and you can do so many in one weekend, I think Sydney's where it's at. And then as far as sort of yeah, chilled vibes and like scenery and that at breweries, I'd probably say Brisbane. But yeah, I just over in WA, it's good, but if you want to do beer places while you're over there, there's a lot of travel involved, and I just don't think the quality of beer over there is worth the fucking excessive flight costs, especially when you've already done it before. If it was something I'd never done, I'd be like, oh yeah, I'm keen. Yeah, boy. Cocky boy. Yeah. Nah, Canberra's nothing special. But yeah, if you are going to Perth and you're there for a little bit, it's fucking awesome. Like, I'll definitely tell you places to check out. Oh, you might be going to Avalon. If you're going to Avalon, dude, it's not too bad. All you got to do is get the Sky Bus to the city. I mean, fuck, like, yeah. If it is Avalon, you're going to, yeah, nah, no big dramas. It is a bit like it's probably like 50 minutes out of the city, but a lot of airports are that far out anyway. They have this thing called Sky Bus, and you just get on that, and you'll be within the city within, yeah, like 45 minutes probably. And the good thing about Avalon is it's quick as fuck. Like, you'll get there and get through all your checks and that really fast. So if anything, it's it's probably nearly better off. But yeah, you'll have to give me the exact dates that you're in Melbourne. Well, because I want to tee up some accommodation, or I don't know, like whether with accommodation, like whether you guys are staying with people or you're organising something. But even if you wanted to go like an Airbnb together, or yeah, you'll just have to let me know what's going on. It'd be awesome to, like, yeah, like if you're up for accommodation, like get a like yeah, do an Airbnb, like an apartment or something for a few nights. That'd be pretty cool. So back to the beer. I love it. Just get sidetracked talking shit for hours, and then you're like, oh yeah, that's it. I'm doing some beer reviews. Nah, this style of video slash VHS is always enjoyable. So yeah, this was the one where I found it was a little more sweet, not quite as dry. And yeah, I think you got more booze with this one too, as opposed to the first one. And yeah, I remembered seeing that Mosaic was in one of them, and I was like, yep, this is definitely the Mosaic one, because you got that sort of berry, earthy touch. I definitely need to go to the loo after this one. Do you know what colour does when you squeeze a Smurf? I'm going to say purple, because it's a combination of the Smurf skin colour and the blood. Cheers, Lee. Good to see you, brother. Always appreciated. Hope you're doing well. Sledgehammer. Yeah, boy. No, you're not. Hey, where's your little pink hand gone? See, that's how new you are. I remember your pink hand. Yeah. I don't want it to be a shitty AI thing though. Like, I fucking hate AI. I want it to be like, I don't know, some sort of like artistic skill involved, not just typing into AI what I want and it comes up with this generic image. Fuck it, I should just do it myself. Pull out my year 10 and 11 art skills. Yeah. Now, I've already got sort of ideas for like what I want for the intro video. Yeah, when it comes to programs and that, guys, you'll have to like say you, for example, Tanner, saying that clip chant. Send me a message just with that name, just so I remember it and I can have a bit of a look and a play with it, sort of thing. Because yeah, just seeing it in here, I've obviously seen it now, but then I'll completely forget about it. Yeah, boy, I'm a bald eagle. I'm a cheeky cockatoo motherfucker. No, yeah. Yeah, exactly, Matt. You're onto it, brother. Avalon's actually really smooth. Like, it's easy as fuck. It's very quick. When you do trips through Avalon, it's like it's fucking probably a third of the time it takes it like Tullamarine. Mm. Yeah, exactly. You're a West Melbourne boy. Yeah. Cheers, Lee. Thanks for the support. After this sip, I am going to the dunny. I am busting. What a brilliant idea to do a stream of 4 beers, get some good sleep while it's hot. I still feel like I'll struggle to go to sleep, but it won't be as bad. What I might even do, as soon as my review is over, I'll go and have a cold shower before I get into bed. Always a winner. Or maybe I'll just go to sleep in the bath. I need to think of a question for the chat while I go to the dunny. Okay. If you could be any animal for the next week, what would you be? Now, let's see the answers to my question. A skunk. Shit, yeah. Bulk said he would be an albatross. Fair call. Do you know what I'd be? What the weather is now and the people around and stuff, I'd be a big shark and I'd be just hanging in the bay. And if there, if there's not enough fish around, I'd just be launching at the tourist swimmers. Plenty of food around there, boys. A dolphin would be pretty rad, just showing off, swimming around in the ocean. Any sort of ocean creature would be pretty awesome. So what was that one I had? That was 2. Let's go to 3 again, the one that weirded me out. A tiger shark. What about a hammerhead shark? They're fucking weird looking things. So yeah, the third one was Are We There Yet? And that was 7.4%. And yes, it looked completely different to everything else. Fuck, I mustn't have had as much of that one because there's still heaps in there. I've got to get the amounts right for the cuvee at the end. Yeah, boy, a bull shark. Another animal I'd just think it'd be fucking rad would be a big, like a silverback gorilla. One of those big gorillas that just gets around. Get out of my fucking way. Just to have that, like, insane presence and strength, like no one's gonna fuck with you. Maybe a lion would be pretty cool as well, obviously. Look at that. How different does it look to the other 3? That's fucked up. Anyway, back into it. So yeah, I obviously said with this one initially that it looked different, it smelt different. It was more like your regular mountain culture hazy. It had the sweetness, it didn't have the dryness, didn't have the bitterness. It was more tropical. Yeah, I want to talk to the team and think and work out what the fuck's going on. A walrus, actually a seal. In my hometown, there's a seal that's known for swimming around the pier and the breakwater area. And he's friendly, but he gets a little aggressive every now and then. And I'm like, he is my spirit animal because his character's like mine, but his name's Sammy. Fuck yeah. Sammy the Seal. He's a friendly boy. He's from the same fucking hometown as me. But when shit goes down, he gets pretty angry. I'm like, fuck yeah. And the one thing I love about seals, they look like dogs. That's so different. Okay, I've got another question for the chat. Because I'm starting to feel hungry. just on where you are right now and what you have access to, what food would you go if you can acquire it within maybe an hour from now? For me, because it's the middle of the night, I'm pretty much fucked because nothing's open where I am. Yeah, polar bear, that'd be pretty rad. I feel like food would be scarce for them. It'd be the same thing. I'd be like, fuck, here's a here's a vulnerable family. I'm just gonna go eat them. They don't even know how to set up their tent. Ruse Leap. It's an Aussie restaurant. Sure it is. Now, I say if it was middle of the day and where I live, what I have access to, because obviously at fucking 2 a.m. country town, nothing's going to be open. So that's a silly question for me. I think just with what our town offers, which isn't much, I'd probably be going for KFC to be honest. But yeah, if I was in Melbourne, there's so many more opportunities with food. We've got some good Thai restaurants here, but value for money is pretty shit. I love how you've got a gap between sperm and whale. Yeah, fuck yeah. That's a good call. I would love to be. It would be pretty cool to be a kangaroo and attack something and just let out some anger and some of that strength. I just imagine being the big red roos they have in the middle of the outback, and like maybe a dingo or something comes up to you and starts harassing you, and you just get the fucking step off the left, like left foot's forward, right foot goes back, and just boom, kick that dingo into the sky. Oh, so it's actually legit. I thought you were talking shit. That's funny. Yeah, the strength in kangaroos' legs, it's like my Labrador, for example, when he was in his prime, I used to like just wrestle with him, fuck around, like just testing out his strength sort of thing. Just putting it's like it's not cruelty, like I was always like very caring and loving, but I put him in positions just to see. It's almost like doing jujitsu with a dog. That's what I was like. Just put him in situations and see how he goes getting out of them. And when he, if you put him in a situation, he'd kick you out. It's like, wow, just the fucking force behind their kicks. And that's like a dog. Like, just imagine if that's a fucking kangaroo. It's like you're fucked. If if you get kicked full on, where a kangaroo launches back on its tail and kicks you as hard as it can, you are fucked. man. I've already gone over the 2 hour mark. Hello, watch hours. So yeah, for anyone that's anyone that cares, my 1 year anniversary is coming up in 14 days, so 2 weeks from now. I think I did my first YouTube video on the 30th of the 12th, 2023. So yeah, it's been awesome. Obviously, I've been part of the community for a lot longer, but yeah, just started doing my videos not long after this time last year, and it's been a hell of a ride. Just all the good people you meet. It's fucking awesome. I couldn't give a shit about most of the other crap, but yeah, just being able to have mates in different parts of the world, and you know that if you caught up with them in real life, you'd hit it off and have a rad time. Well, that's what it's all about. And yeah, like it obviously gets you through tough times if you're having a shit time at work, or I don't know, like your relationships fucking shit, or just something's not right. And you jump on here and talk to people, and yeah, it's good. Yeah, I'll have to give it a whirl. my stomach just like growled at me. It's like I'm hungry, buddy. Feed me. Wombats will suffocate a full blown muscle pity. Yeah, fucking oath. Some of the animals you just don't realise how fucking strong they are. That's what I mean with kangas. Like my Labrador is he would fuck shit up if he needed to. He's just got that insane strength. Like, I think too, because I haven't had him like neutered, whatever you call it, when they lose their nuts. He's still got his nuts, so he's still like real fucking masculine and strong, and never puts on any weight. Yeah, he's just got that incredible strength. Even now that he's like fucking 13 years old, he's still strong as fuck. But yeah, when he when he was about 5 or 6, and I used to wrestle with him, I'm just like, fuck me, this cunt would fuck me up in a heartbeat. So you just think of kangaroos because, yeah, they obviously their leg muscles are like their thighs are like this thick, and they just got so much strength in their legs because that's what they mainly use. So yeah, if you see them sort of all of a sudden rear back, go on their tail, it's like you need to get the fuck out of there. We're watching something the other day, and it's like if you sort of get up close in their range and then you can bring them down to a level and you get down as well, they feel like sort of safe and secure, and then less likely to attack. But it's like, are you willing to take that risk? So the old hazy boy still tastes so different to all the others. Number 4. Who needs sleep? Sammy, but will he get it? No. Oh, yes. I'll give you 4.5. Oh, man, I'm hungry now. Fuck. Shouldn't have talked about food. So still need more in there. Cuvée. I mustn't have drank much of number 4 because look at that. Then we got another full glass. What have you been listening to of late, Stewie? I've been revisiting some other bands. I know you got into Alice in Chains. Would you like another recommendation? Similar vein, they're actually inspired by Alice in Chains. A band I've been listening to of late is Godsmack. Very enjoyable. So Alice in Chains are Godsmack's main influence. Godsmack's actually the name of an Alice in Chains song, so you can tell that they're big fans. And yeah, I've been getting right into it. Yep, exactly. You'll listen to them and you'll go, yep. I'm trying to think of something else you might like. If anyone out there likes that sort of AC/DC classic rock sound, I would highly recommend Southern River Band out of Perth. They are fucking phenomenal. They're probably like, as far as live music goes, they'd be one of the best bands at the moment worldwide. Fucking unreal. And they're like a small little Aussie band out of Perth. Yes. Airborne are from the same fucking city as I'm from, dude. I actually know the boys personally. The two O'Keefe brothers and Streety. Streety was one of my brother's best mates. So, like, I've got on the piss with Streety heaps of times. He's a good boy. And then the guitarist they've got's like a newer fella, so I don't know him. But yeah, Southern River Band are heaps like Airborne, so I highly recommend checking them out, dude. Yeah, I'm back in the game, breaking hearts again. I just can't get over how different Beer 3 is from the others. It's definitely like an unusual style, but it's something I could get into. Just the dryness, it's so insane. Like, it reminds me of like brewed IPA sort of thing. That like champagne, like dryness. It's not as intense as that, but it's certainly got similar vibes. I can't be fucked going to work later tonight. It's gonna be shit. When it's so hot, it's like fuck this shit. I just want to stay home. I want to go to the beach. everyone else around me takes days off and I never do. It's like it'll get to a stage I'm like, fuck yous, I'm staying home. Why am I coughing all of us? I see. I seen it like a short from a video the other day. It was pretty funny. They were talking about it was like a dad joke sort of thing, and the guy's like a real shy, like Chinese guy, and he's like opposite a porn star doing dad jokes, and he goes, "Oh, my favorite." Do you want to know what my favorite porn category is? And she's like, "Oh, here we go. What?" And he goes, "COVID just turned 19." I'm like, that is fucking brilliant. I love that shit. It'd be interesting to see if you know any of the Godsmack songs, Stewie. I Stand Alone's definitely like a massive tune. I reckon you would have heard that before. I stand alone. I like I think it's called Voodoo. It's really weird. Like it's sort of like tribal or something. It's fucking awesome. Good to see a lot of viewers around tonight. It's pleasing to know that there's people out there watching. Yeah. Yeah, check out the song Voodoo. It's cool. I'm not the one who should far away. Enter my vein. Looking forward to this Cuvée. I'm at that stage now where it's like if someone started a panel, I'd be like, fuck yeah, I'm joining. Cuvée. Oh, yes. Yeah, I hadn't done a fucking chug for a while. And then I did the I can't remember what I did, but yeah, I did Foreigner last night and that got like a bit of traction. It's pretty funny. I'm just a small town girl living in a lonely world. Good tune. I've got so many fucking rad beers in the fridge. I just keep thinking of them, going, "Oh, maybe I should do that. Maybe I should do this." What's your name? Where you from? And what are you drinking? So yeah, this is my original mountain culture glass. This is the OG, the bad boy. I love it. I've actually got two of these. I thought if I ever break one, at least I've got another. But every other glass they've brought out, it's been limited release, like fuck all numbers. So it's like you don't want to break those. Keep them coming. What more beer reviews? Yeah, it's tough, dude. I feel like number four. I need to, yeah, it's like just from going back over them again. I feel like number four was the one that sort of like slightly stood out. Three was so different to the rest of them, and it was confusing. Um, yeah, I liked four how it's like four is sort of like a new and like a new world westie. Like you get that sort of sharp pine and citrus and tropical fruit. Like it seemed like you got like the best of all with number four. Um, yeah, there was another one that yeah, the first one was piney as well, but I felt like yeah, just the it just seemed like number four. It's like they probably worked on all the shit they needed to, and then by the time they got to the fourth one, it's like they've started to. It's all come together. Come together right now over me. So yeah, I'm gonna say number four, bro. I would say what did I have? Yeah, I feel like if I had to pick, I may as well do it now since Shuey asked. But yeah, I'm gonna say number four would come in first place. I just think they got the balance right, and it probably makes sense because they've gone back and forth with like feedback and being the last beer out of the series. They've probably like started to get shit right. Um, yeah, it sort of had that good balance of sweet and dry. It had like your piney character, but also like your fruity and floral. Um, yeah. Number three was the weird one when it just was completely hazy. I mean, the flavour was good, but I was just so confused as to why all of a sudden it was hazy and so different to the others. It was almost like it had a completely different malt base and yeast, like very weird. So I'm sort of keen to follow up on that, why that was the case. But yeah, so for me, that's probably the least favourite, or that or number two would be the least favourites. And yeah, number one, I felt like was pretty decent. It was like similar, piney, citrusy, very dry, quite bitter as well. Um, yeah, it's like one and four were quite similar, and then you had two that was like, yeah, it sort of had different characteristics from the hops, but yeah, being It was like more boozy, more sweet, less dry. Hmm. But yeah, just from what I had, I would say number four. Four's got to be the winner. It'd be interesting to see what other people say. So we'll go another question, shall we? Something for the chat. I would like to know what a must have alcohol is on Christmas Day, in your opinion. Is there something that every Christmas Day you'll always have that particular thing? See, for me, I don't really celebrate Christmas with anyone. It's a little bit grim in my world, but I do I do the Carwyn Cellars can vent now every year, and it's something I really look forward to. Like I treat myself for December, getting that in the mountain culture one. And now every year I get the bomber. They do a big bomber, like a Magnum bottle for Christmas Day, and it's normally a big sour. So what I like to do every Christmas now, I'll try and still make it decent for myself. I'll cook up my own meats and roast vegetables and get some like chocolates and biscuits and cheese and all that sort of stuff. But I will always have this one bottle of sour, and then I'll try and get a really nice imperial stout as well. And that's sort of me done for Christmas. It's like, yeah, boy. 101 from Bulk. Good call and not surprising. A black and tan or a McEwen's champion or a Copperberg. Oh, yeah, cool. Yeah, like decent ciders go down well at Christmas time. Out of the Copperbergs, mate, what's the flavours that you lean towards? How are you, brother? I'm a cockatoo. Nah, just been doing 4 beers, dude, from Mountain Culture. They're like a new beer style called Tasman IPA. It's sort of like a cross between West Coast and New England. And yeah, it's like the 4 beers have been similar in a way, but the third one was so different to the other three. It's very weird. So yeah, it's been good doing a side by side little examination. I've had a heap of people just talking shit, banter, and it's been a good strain. I hope you're well, fella. We'll have to have another beer, dude. Yep. No, that's reasonable, bro. Nothing wrong with a good quality lager at Christmas time. How about you, Paul? Christmas time, bro. What's your alcohol of choice? What's your poison? Yeah, I always make sure I have at least one big imperial stout on Christmas Day. I want to go to bed feeling like I've had a good sesh. But yeah, I quite often I'll get like a few different Christmas beers. Like, I think this year I've got like a Christmas saison and a Christmas red IPA, so they'll be like the beers I'll start off with, but then I'll finish with like something real big and exciting. Yeah. Coffee with a little Baileys, a little Kahlua. So it's that time of the night, boys and girls. I need to go a cuvee. Let's do it. OG glass represent with my cockatoo hat. Let's do it. Every beer in one. There's the first. I need to put it so you can sort of see me pouring it slightly. There we go. Number two. Oh, shit. I think there's a bit too much in number two. Number three. And my favourite of the bunch, the last one. Yeah, so it seems like number two I didn't drink quite as much. So let's do this shit, boys and girls. Cuvee! All four in one. I'll see yous in 20 years. Should I neck it? Yes, I will. What a legend. Oh, that hurts. Woo! Cuvee! Boom! No, normally I wouldn't chug it, but I was just like, fuck it, I'm in the mood. I'm in the mood to get rowdy. Who's going live? If someone goes live, I'm joining. Yeah, boy. So, yeah, fucking oath. So, as I said, my pick for the four would be the fourth one. Who needs sleep? Which is my motto currently. 7%. It was the lowest in ABV. I just felt like it was the best, well-rounded. It had more of the West Coast notes than the hazy. It was just more of my jam, really. So yeah. Cheers to mountain culture. Love you guys. And can't wait to follow up why the fuck the third beer was so different to the rest. It's going to be interesting. So yeah. Where are we at? 2.5 hours. Woo! Not a bad review. So that's all that's left. Nothing. Oh man. So I'm out of here. Thanks everyone for chiming in. It's been a very fun stream. Always love these side by side ones, and there's been heaps of good people here. So love yous all. Appreciate the support. Give us a like and a comment, as they say. I'm out of here. And yeah, if anyone's going live, let me know because I want to kick on. Cheers, boys and girls. Love yous.